Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be talking through Game 2 of my wager versus Carlo a couple days ago here in NBA 2K26, my team. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. This is an interesting game. It's a weird game, I have to say. I think that's the best way to describe it. Y'all will see what I mean as the video progresses. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is very start of the game. I'm just in here doing my matchups as per normal. He called it. He intentionally fouled me and called a timeout. Keep an eye on his timeouts this game. It gets ridiculous. You'll see what I mean. That's one of the things of multiple things that are weird about this. Just initial start though. He's in a zone immediately. 3:55. Game just started. He is in a zone. I don't know why he's in a zone. He did not mean to be in a zone. I don't believe. He intentionally fouls again. And is still in a zone, doesn't realize it, I guess, calls another timeout. That's timeout number 2. So we go ahead, we skip through timeout number 2. I'm inbounding the ball again. He's still in a zone. I don't think he realizes he was in a zone. In his stream, after the game, he complained about how his matchups weren't right to start the game, and that's why he was using all these timeouts. How do you not recognize you're in a zone? You're the one who had to put yourself in a zone in the first place. And the funny thing is, after the first possession, he's not in a zone anymore. So y'all will see what I mean there as well. But he has now intentionally fouled me a couple times as well. We get into this. He is not playing normal defense. He doesn't, I guess, realize he's in a zone. I don't know. And I get it open through Sean Marion. He complained about that three-pointer after the game and was like frustrated that I shot it. Why would I not shoot it? I don't understand what I did wrong there, to be totally honest. But he was mad at me for shooting that shot. He felt like it was like I shouldn't have taken it because obviously something was messed up. I didn't know why he was in a zone. I don't know. Anyways, point being,
is he serious?
Oh, that's my audio. Sorry. I was confused why he was pausing and stuff so much and calling all these timeouts. And oh no, I think I said, is he serious? Because he was running his zone. I literally unmuted myself. It was like while he paused, was like, is he seriously gonna run his zone? And so he calls another timeout. This is again timeout number 3 in the first 20 seconds of the game. I'm again not 100% sure why we're calling all these timeouts. He's sitting through the timeout for like 40 seconds as well. But here we go. We get into the game. We're actually playing now. He drives past me, I believe, with Wemby and gets a dunk here, if I'm not mistaken. He goes pick and pop, hits Wemby, just runs around me, deep hash, gets a dunk. Okay, now he is no longer in a zone anymore, which means he realized he was in a zone and took himself out of it. So I still don't understand why he was frustrated, because that was his own fault. But we are now playing normally. I get a slip to Dr. J, and we can just go ahead and go play the game like normal. I think he got flustered by whatever this whole zone thing was and the wasted timeouts and stuff. I don't really know why, but it seemed like he was flustered in the first quarter of this game as well, which y'all will see what I mean. But good defense here. He tries to backdoor cut Carmelo. Do a really good job there, honestly, with Dr. J. And then Dr. J gets his ankles absolutely snatched at the end of the shot clock. Thankfully, Carlo had already passed the ball. He low-key might have been able to get a wide open shot with Carmelo, a wide open three-pointer with Carmelo there at the end of the possession. And yeah, I just go downhill with SGA. He's late getting over with Chris Bosh. He does X-switch it, but he X-switches late. Not really ever able to get to the point where he's able to actually cut off SGA, and it gives us a free dunk, which is a 7-2 lead. Not bad at all. He switches, honestly, here, I just didn't want to get up a 3 because I was late X-switching, and I didn't want to get up a 3, so I clicked on to Dr. J and jumped, basically to make sure I'd have a contest if he did shoot. I'd rather give up the dunk than the 3. It's a late X-switch with Jaren trying to get there with Wemby, but there's just no way I was going to be able to get from the hash to guarding Wemby at that point. I'd rather give up the 2 than the 3, though. In that situation, kind of a force to a pass here, a little bit cross-court, but not too bad. He wasn't clicked on anybody over there or anything like that. Get the ball in Embiid's hands. Try to drive baseline. It's not there, and what a terrible pass that was. Like, just awful. And it leads to a wide open 3. And he breaks it. Again, it just seems a little flustered so far, in all honesty, for the way this game started off. I will take the wide open miss, but we go right back at it. Wemby is unable to, or Wemby does cut off Joel there, prevents him slipping behind. So again, just reset the offense, go pick and roll, reset the offense again, make sure I get the floor spaced out, drive the ball. He overhelps off the pop, and Embiid gets a wide open 3, and we take a 10-4 lead. Solid, not bad at all. Just stay between Carmelo and the basket. Again, it's kind of the goal here. Cut off the rim run. Perfect. Now just get through the screen. Good. Make sure that the Jokic doesn't slip behind Marion. That's good too. Don't need to X switch that. I just keep Dr. J on there. Watching the backdoor cut to Pippen. That's a great defensive possession. He's forced to call a timeout there with 1.7 seconds left. Honestly, a great defensive possession. And then even here, doing a really good job of tracking Brandon Roy. Tracking the guy he's got trying to get open with SGA, forcing a contested shot. And he gets the craziest offensive rebound and then misses wide open again. Like I'm saying, just seemed like flustered more than anything else. He said he felt delayed after he missed that shot. I don't know. I didn't seem like it to me, but whatever. Point being, get to the rim. SGA gets a dunk. He is clearly flustered. You could just tell he was frustrated with all the timeouts and the missed shots and stuff like that, which is frustrating, but I think it's important to make sure you note that, like, that's where it's an opportunity to stay composed and be like, okay, the game's I'm missing, the game's not going well, I just need to recompose myself and be okay. And to be fair, he sits here in the pause menu for a while, and then we go back to playing after like a minute and a half, and we're good. The game plays pretty much as normal from now on. But he only has 3 timeouts because you've already used 4. Good quick pop there, by the way. I didn't X-switch early enough. Didn't really need to X-switch in the first place, honestly, there. I feel like Marion actually got through pretty darn well here. Like, I didn't need to switch this. I don't know why I switched it in the first place. It was unnecessary. I just dragged Dr. J away from Carmelo. He quick popped it, and Marion's late getting back, which gives up a wide open 3. It's bad defense by me there. Just unnecessary in all honesty. But it is what it is. 12-7 lead. Still not in a terrible spot. Try to turn the corner with SGA. SGA does get downhill, get past B-Roy. Nice little deep hash there, gets us a rim run dunk. We have a 14-7 lead here. Trying to come toward the close pretty much of the first quarter. Go under the screen again. Make Jokic work from the outside more than anything else is kind of the goal. The goal is ideally to always keep Sean Marion between him and the basket in this matchup. Late jump late closeout with SGA does get enough of a contest where it forces another miss. Again, probably another shot he could have hit. 4 seconds left in the shot clock, or in the game clock in the first quarter. I low-key maybe could have gotten a better shot than that if I had just shot it earlier as I was bringing the ball up the court with Dr. J, but it is what it is. End of the first quarter, still up by 7. It could be a lot, but it could be a lot worse, honestly. I feel like he kind of sold himself in that first quarter. Immediate blow-by for Carmelo to start the second quarter is kind of unfortunate. And then he almost strips the ball there on the inbounds pass as well. He reaches in and gets a strip, and I'm not even dribbling. Look, you see it? I'm just holding the ball, getting my spacing set up, and he almost strips me and gets a steal there. I then get a mismatch. He X-switches Wemby, and Wemby's knee forces a steal on Shea somehow as I'm bringing the ball up the court, or as I'm backing it out with Shea. So just a couple of weird animations right there. Start off the quarter not very well for me, and all of a sudden a 7-point game is right back down to 3. So just like that, he's right back in the game, obviously. But yeah, 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second quarter. There's still plenty of time to try to extend the lead. Dump it into Dr. J. No need to force. This time I sprint out of the paint because I don't want any fluke animations or anything like that. And I get an illegal screen, which is, again, exasperating. The algo is just clearly flipped a little bit here in the last minute or so to start the second quarter. Not the way I want to start off the second quarter. But the good thing is, the game is still got plenty of time in the game. So do a good job of cutting off a Jokic attempt at a backdoor cut, and then we do a great job of X-switching here and then manually contesting as well with Dr. J to get a contest on that shot, and he is just not hitting anything with Brandon Roy, honestly, to this point in the game. Not that was a good shot anyway, to be fair on that one, but some of the other ones he's missed have been pretty favorable looks. Backing it out here, trying to get downhill with Marion. He just doesn't have the dribble style for it, so it's kind of boxed at this point. A little backdoor to Shea. Honestly, I am just boxed this possession. Like, nothing else I can say about it other than that. I was just boxed. I didn't get anything open. He got himself a stop. Earned the stop in all honesty. Closed out pretty aggressively there to make sure Jokic couldn't get the shot off. Do a good job of keeping Embiid, getting back between Carmelo and the basket there in all honesty. And then again, clicking on, manually contesting it, B-Roy as he forces kind of another shot. Just, again, like I said, feels like he's not taking advantage of me not playing all that great offensively right now because he's been kind of flustered offensively too. So it's a 16-11 lead. And even with a little bit of an unlucky start to the second quarter for me, I feel like we've done an okay job of at least maintaining our lead, even if part of that has been himself hurting himself a bit. Gets a blow by there on Jaren and then rim runs for a dunk. I don't know why the pause, honestly. And then he pauses again. I just really not 100% sure, honestly. But He gets himself a dunk and one with Bosch, makes the free throw as well here, and it becomes a 16-14 game. And all of a sudden, he's cut basically the entire first quarter lead out. So, got to close the second quarter out well. Not a good start to it there, turning the ball over again as SGA gets bumped. A lot of those kind of going on. But then we get one back, and I kind of put myself in position for it here as well. You'll see I click on to Jaren, and I get in position and bump him, which works out really, really nicely. Gets us a stop, and I feel like swaps the momentum back a little bit after he's gotten a bunch of stops in a row. Gives me an opportunity to reset and try to extend since I was able to get a stop as well. And it's a great downhill drive for Dr. J. Gets us a dunk and a big, big bucket there, honestly. Retaking the lead, or extending the lead, I should say, to 18-14. Watching the slip to Wemby. He gets a good-ish look there with Carmelo. I was kind of on his side with the Dr. J, but he probably could have shot that off of that crab. One of the few times he really used his dribble moves, I feel like, to effectively create shots. Probably should have done more of that, honestly. But tries to go for a little post fade. Doesn't work. I didn't mean to jump with Embiid, but Embiid winds up still being in perfect position to steal the pass back to Carmelo, and he doesn't get anything in that possession. Really just never had anything particularly open on that possession, which worked out well. I don't know what Embiid is doing here. This makes no sense to me off of this double team. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Go here. Free dunk, free three, depending on what he helps off of. And maybe this was open, to be fair, SGA. But if he just goes here, and this guy, and Dr. J doesn't move in for no reason and stuff, the spacing is so much better. There's no decent reason for that at all. Thankfully, we still wind up actually getting a bucket at least. But just was weird, and it wasn't a turnover. And I agreed to contested shot with SGA. 13% catch and shoot late in the shot clock. Little bit of a lucky maybe shot on Hall of Fame, but a big shot nonetheless, and a good shot. I'm happy to be able to knock that one down. X switch Dr. J onto Bosch, and then X switch back to get Dr. J back onto Carmelo there. He's boxed, honestly, and he calls a timeout with 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Again, keep an eye on those timeouts. He now only has 2 timeouts left for the rest of the game, and he did it just to substitute like 2 cards. He put Sigma and McAdoo in. Just an unnecessary timeout, in my opinion, when you can sub at the beginning of the second half in 20 seconds. He gets a little backdoor maybe open for Bob McAdoo, but doesn't actually go for it. We do a really good job defensively there of X-switching properly and then manually contesting McAdoo, and that gives us a 7-point lead with an opportunity here to go downhill. And this is where I just know what your cards do best. Cooper Flag's an elite slasher. We take the ball, go coast to coast, little drag back there, you just saw, and I recognize the clock this time. Little drag back to create some space, turn the corner, try to deep hash a little bit, get an angle to the rim. We do exactly that. Nice confident stick dunk. And Cooper Flag finishes off the half really, really well, getting us a bucket and giving us a 9-point lead going to the half. So great response to end the half, scoring 7 straight after the start of the second quarter was pretty rough and allowed him to get back to a 2-point game. Really big close to the first half, in all honesty, and it gives us an opportunity to have ourselves a solid lead. At this point already, the goal is now pretty much just don't give up threes for the most part. Make everything as difficult and as long as possible for his possessions and be very patient offensively and do a good job of staying in front. We do a really good job defensively here of just cutting off everything he's trying to do. Nothing is really open. I'm surprised that set open in terms of the coverage for that shot, because that was a bit of a force there. And we get ourselves a stop to start off the second half. I try to run a little 3-point play for Brandon Ingram. It didn't really work, so it is what it is. Just reset the offense here. Be patient. 8 seconds left in the shot clock. Honestly, looks like I'm kind of boxed here. But he clicks on right here and reaches. Why is he reaching? I don't know. He shouldn't have done it. He was in position for a stop, but it gives us an angle to get to the rim. BI turns the corner, gets downhill, and dunks it home. And all of a sudden, it's an 11-point game. And yeah, at this point, it's double digits in the second half on Hall of Fame. Just make it as hard as possible for him to score. That wasn't a great job of it there. I could have kept Bosch between McAdoo and the rim. But again, no threes at this point, pretty much. And just make things as difficult as I can for him to score. Nice hop step there. Brandon Ingram with confidence. Those hop step animations are so favorable, because if you can just get a hop step with momentum towards the rim with especially a taller offensive player like a BI, even a Pippen, who's a great defender, just winds up sliding off of him basically, and he's just not in position to really get a contest. Those hop steps can be really, really good, especially with taller offensive players and size advantages and things like that, and it gives us an easy layup at the rim. So we get that bucket that we gave up right back. Really good X-switch right here to get Cooper Flag onto Braun and not leave anything open. Even there, I reach myself kind of out of the play, but I do a good job of recovering on that X-switch too and getting him back in the play again. I try to X-switch it back, though, and get Coop back on Braun here. And the reason this X-switch doesn't work is because, before this, Chris Bosh is in contact physically with LeBron, right here. if you see Bosch is like making contact with his body. I know he slides off of him, but as I'm X-switching, he's making contact. So this X-switch doesn't work as if the player who's guarding the on-ball defender or the ball handler is currently like in physical contact with that ball handler. It won't X-switch, which is why when I click onto Bosch to go back to McAdoo, Cooper Flag, instead of switching on to Braun, stays with McAdoo. It leads to an open three. Kind of a misunderstanding by me. I didn't really realize that was going to happen in that situation. It was honestly on me, though. It's something I could have probably done a better job to properly prevent. But you know what? At the end of the day, it kind of is what it is. So we move on and we get to the next possession. Up by 8 still. At the end of the day, you're not going to let something like that bother you too much. I notice as soon as I have this mismatch here on Jack Sigma, I know I'm going to try to beat him around the corner and get downhill for a dunk. He X-switches here when Jokic is beat already, and I stop to stop my progress, have him step up, and as he's stepping up, because he's a little low, he's stepping up to get to the ball handler. At that moment is when I attack deep hash. We have a speed advantage. We get around him. We get ourselves an easy dunk. Just knowing his personnel, knowing that I have a speed advantage there, and knowing that there's an opportunity to kind of stop and go and get past him. What I did poorly on this possession is I let him get too far up the court and too far attacking Cooper Flag before I clicked on and backed up. So what that led to is by the time I clicked on, he basically already had me beat, got himself a free dunk. Again, kind of my mistake there, but we still have a 29-21 lead. So again, hasn't been perfect, but we're in an okay spot. I get downhill, I get a wide open standing dunk, and I miss it. That's a good dunk. I'd take that 10 times out of 10, especially with a player who has full stamina, basically, like Ron Harper. That was honestly unlucky, but gotta let stuff like that go. It does you no good to dwell on one missed bucket or one messed up possession that wasn't even really your fault. Good defense here. Staying in front. Bosch cuts off the rim run, overhelp a little bit with Flag, but we recover well. He actually kind of gets Bosch stuck and gets a good look, and he misses again. That's like his third or fourth wide open shot miss of the game, which is definitely, like, that always hurts for sure. But good safe pass there to Coop, honestly, all things considered. Could have been worse anyway after out of that double team. And again, we reset the offense, try to drive the ball, see a little driving lane to the basket, and LeBron does not fully cut off Coop, which allows for that angle at the basket still be attacked, I should say, and gives us yet another bucket. Quick slip is open this time. I try to recover with Cooper Flag out the corner to provide more of a contest to McAdoo, but unfortunately, we're a little late getting to that position, and we're unable to get ourselves that type of a contest. And then Ron Harper goes for another standing dunk. Another layup instead of a standing dunk. Don't know why that's what he decided to do there, because if you see, this should be a stand dunk every single time. Got the defender beat, that's standing. And he goes for a layup. He's not even that tired. He's not blinking. I don't know, just exasperating. But I green the rebound, and I actually get an O board, which is huge because it leads to a wide open three. Big change of events there from what could have been a unfortunate miss and kind of an unlucky possession. We get 3 points out of it instead, which I needed because I got out rebounded five offensive rebounds to nothing in the first game. So getting an offensive rebound there is honestly a little bit owed, and we get ourselves a 3 out of it, which is huge. And now it's again back to an 11-point game, which is also massive. He stops and pops a relatively contested shot with Sigma, kind of like the contest that SGA got on the shot I made from the corner earlier in the game, and he knocks it down. Good shot right there. Again, cuts it right back to 8. Don't want to give up threes, but we've really only given up 2 threes since we've really only given up 2 threes anyway, since I said we kind of should try to stop giving up any sort of threes. So it is what it is. Drive the ball here, take what the defense gives you. What they give me there is an easy dunk for Brandon Ingram. He's really late getting over with Jokic, and that's a 10-point lead. 5 seconds left. I don't know if I needed to jump there. I just kind of thought he was trying to dex him out for a 3 and get himself a catch-and-shoot 3. He sends the back door and then dexes him out, and then goes back in, and it's just, he gets a dunk out of it. It is what it is. It's not a big deal. I'd rather give up the 2 than the 3 anyway, but I probably could have closed out better and maybe not been quite so far off of Braun in the first place, so I didn't feel like I needed to jump. He calls a timeout here with 1 second left in the third quarter, just to like throw me the ball anyway. I don't know. Again, that's his last timeout at this point. He now has no more timeouts. He used 2 more in the third quarter. Like, I don't know why, but he used all of his timeouts like that. He just wasted his timeouts really for no reason, in all honesty. And that is just something that does definitely wind up coming back to bite him a little bit. He calls for an intentional foul here. Again, I guess the reason he intentionally fouled was because he reached himself out of the play with Jack Sigma right here. If you look, he reaches with Sigma, and so Embiid's open. But then look what he does after the intentional foul. He does it again. He runs out of the play with Sigma, doesn't foul again, and gives up a free stick dunk. Like, you just made a mistake, called a foul to rectify said mistake, and made the same mistake again. And then he tries to call another timeout, which he doesn't even have anymore, for like no reason. It's just baffling. I don't know what he's thinking, honestly. Wasting those timeouts winds up costing him there, though, because it gives me the ball back and it gives me a free throw. So he basically wastes a possession and gives me an extra point. Just don't waste your timeouts. I tried to stick dunk with Jaren. He did not get a favorable animation. I guess Castle got between him and the basket, which gave Castle a stop. And honestly, I didn't time the meter well at all anyway. But I do a great job defensively there of staying between Carmelo and the basket and manually walling up with the right stick, getting a contest. Early quick slip to SGA is a free dunk. And just like that, it's a 41-28 game, 13-point game at this point. It's basically over unless I shoot myself in the foot. And obviously, I'm not planning on shooting myself at the foot. Nice X switch there, a little bit of a deceptive X switching late with Embiid. He's not really open. I click on to Jaren anyway, though, to click on the contest, and he gets Jaren stuck in the screen. I actually try to jump at B-Roy, and he knocks down the three anyway. Really good offense there from Brandon Roy. Really the first shot he's actually been able to really get open and knock down. He's missed an open shot with him, but yeah. And then he messes up again. It's like great defense, or great offense, got yourself a three with B-Roy. But he again reaches himself out the play, is trying to recover, and I anticipate it, read the defense early, and kick to the opposite hash for a wide open three. It's just, you got a three ball off with really good offense, and then you reach yourself out of the play again, and you're just kind of hurting yourself at this point in terms of your opportunity to win, in my opinion. Good X switch there. Tried to X switch back, but it's fine. Embiid in body contact doesn't. I think right here what happened is my Embiid touched the screen, and so the CPU Shea helped when he really didn't need to, probably, because I was helping at the corner with Sean Marion as well to not give up the rim run. But sometimes when your on-ball defender gets beat off the dribble like that, the CPU screen defender will sometimes help down too much and give up those open pops. And that's exactly what happened right there. Good patience here, by the way, just waiting for him to move with B-Roy. We get to an inside position, and we get ourselves a free standing dunk. Nice easy dunk there. And with 2 minutes left, 12-point game. At this point, it's basically over anyway. Just got to make it difficult. I don't even really mind that. It's 2 points, but it's not that big of a deal. He doubles out the corner here, but we do a good job of just getting the ball out early to Sean, getting inside position again, making sure Carmelo's kind of on our hip to our back, and going to a stick dunk there to guarantee I get a standing dunk instead of some sort of standing layup animation, using that standing dunk ability. And a great shot there. If I jump with Carmelo, maybe I get a contest, but a really nice quick pop to Carmelo. He knocks it down, and he cuts it right back to an 8-point game. And I call a timeout here specifically. Reason I call a timeout is I feel like I'm more in no man's land here. If I don't throw this pass super early, it's probably getting turned over here because he's playing with B-Roy. So I don't throw it super early. At that point, I'm like, okay, because the thought process is you could throw it over here because Dr. J is going to be open, except if you throw the ball that far down the court, especially from a double team, you get these moon ball passes that take forever to get there. And LeBron would have an easy chance to just click on and get in position and steal the pass or knock it down or something along those lines. And it's just realistically better safe than sorry. I have 2 timeouts left in the last 2 minutes of the game because I haven't wasted mine. I might as well use them, you know what I mean? So I do use one of those 2 there to just make sure I don't turn the ball over. I also fix my matchups real quickly for the guys that he's currently got on the court. And instead of just trying to get the ball up, I just pass it into the front court immediately, which does, again, give us the opportunity to get a bucket. So, or to skip the press, I should see, and get ourselves a good look. Right here, I go up with Embiid. No, this was a great take. I know people are going to be like, that just looks like you're mashing him. This animation right here, look how far Sigma gets pushed off. As soon as I see that animation, I'm like, okay, I'm going up. I actually expected a dunk animation, but I got a layup regardless. But that's not an animation he's going to be able to get a contest from because he's getting pushed too far off of Embiid. So that's just me reading in the split second that he got a favorable animation, just continuing the possession and going up strong. Then he runs into Jaren's leg on a nice X switch with Stephon Castle. At this point, minute 20 left, down by 11. The game's basically over. I probably could have hit Jaren on the slip there, but a good patient offense here. Just not trying to force anything, honestly. Make sure that we take a good amount of time off the clock because really, especially at this point, there's only one way that I lose. That's if I really shoot myself in the foot in the game. I miss an open shot with Dr. J. He's a little tired, but I feel like that was a shot I probably should have hit. Just doesn't really matter that much. He gets another dunk with Carmelo, but I mean, at this point, it's game. Jared with the nice little pick and fade. Try to drive the ball here. He overhelps with Stephon Castle, which he didn't really mean to do, but his recovery is definitely late with Carmelo. Gives us an open 3. 44 seconds left. I think I played one more really good defensive possession here, too, actually. Good job getting through, not giving up the slip to Wemby. Staying in front of LeBron as best as possible. Manually clicking on and contesting, then X-switching, but also recovering with Embiid. Back to Wemby. Getting the stop. And just like that, that's basically the game. I basically dribbled the clock out. I think I did shoot one last shot somewhere. Oh, I shot the shot with Marion and it get blocked. And then he gets a 3-ball in transition with Wimby. But just like that, we wind up winning game 2 by 9. I still feel like I definitely could have played better, but we get ourselves a win nonetheless. 77%, 60% from 3. Played very efficient basketball again. This time did not get out rebounded 5-0, which was nice. Could have probably been a little better still. Honestly, I don't feel like I played that great, especially defensively, giving up a couple too many threes and making a couple mistakes and stuff. But still, not a horrible game at all. We get the 2-0 sweep, which is obviously what I was always going for. And yeah, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. I hope y'all enjoyed the series a couple nights ago as well if y'all watched live. I appreciate y'all for watching the video. And if you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.